Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Leicester City Down Under. Just going to bring in Brad here. Brad, how's it going, mate?
It's going good, mate. It's going a bit like Leicester at the moment. It's all going well. Everything's coming up Millhouse. If you're a Simpsons fan, you'll know that expression.
I do, mate. Look, I just want to quickly touch on just before we get into the game and my predicted 11 or what I'd like to see. Just wanted to quickly, a few points I wanted to talk about the last game. I didn't get to stay on too much for the post match on LT Leicester Till I Die. I thought we started slow a little bit that first half, and then that last 10 minutes, we really started to come into that game, Brad. And then I was like, man, if this first half went another 5-10 minutes, I think we would have scored. And it was the first game in a while where I felt like it's not if, but when we're going to score. Whereas the Sunderland and the Middlesbrough game, I didn't feel like that. It just felt painful to watch going into the final third.
Yeah. I think Watford played their part in that as well because I think we've if you haven't already, sorry guys, but you're gonna have to get used to the fact that Leicester are very much going to be like a slow cooker, cooking you a nice stew in this winter weather. Well, maybe not over where you are. I know it gets nice and warm. There's usually a lovely Ashes series going on this time of year, starting up when the cricket's going. But over in the UK, it's nice and cold, and we normally have stews. So Leicester play a bit like that. You have to put it on for 4 hours, and you think it's not cooking, and then eventually it starts cooking and it gets going. And people are thinking this is a food channel. It's not. It's a football euphemism I'm making here because Leicester they get going slowly, don't they? And I think Watford played a part into it because it works well for Leicester to play that way when a team just sits off us and allows us to play that style. And I feel like you're right in what you said. Sunderland didn't allow us to play it, and they didn't quite have enough quality to kind of take anything off us. But then two recent results before the game against Watford, Leeds, and Middlesbrough, they played a higher tempo, and that really messed us up. And then they got in behind us, and obviously eventually both nicked 3 points off us. So it was quite good to see that the old way still, well, the Enzo way, if you will, has a way of working, but we still need to. We still need to find a different way, though, because as convincing as the performance was and the win was against Watford, I still feel that there's no reason we shouldn't have a plan B.
No, you actually hit the nail on the head of what you said at the start. Whereas when it suits us, when teams do want to sit deep and like not really come at us, and then you see the confidence grow with our heavy possession based football. But like you said, like Sunderland and Middlesbrough, like those games were like, and people were saying like, have we been found out? We were a little worried when teams press us and don't allow us to have that time on the ball. Then you start seeing a few more mistakes, but I've got to pull up the stats here in a second, but we haven't. I think we've only conceded 10 goals. Let me just double check. But we haven't actually like conceded a lot, and we haven't conceded more than 1 goal a game in all the games I've lost. They've all been the same score, so we haven't got a tanking. And yes, it is a high risk game that we're playing, from out the back, but we're not seeing that many mistakes. Granted, it is Championship, and I do worry about a plan B in the Premier League. But for now, let's just worry about the league that we're in and what we're going to do come summer. Speaking of that, and come summer, you're not going to hear this, but I didn't think Kalechi had a good game, and I've seen him pull out of a few challenges the last few games, mate. And I'm starting to wonder if his head's in it anymore, if he knows he's leaving in January.
It does seem that way a little bit, but then he's always been a little bit reserved unless he sort of scores a goal. And that's the problem with Kelsey. The problem with Wilf as well is they just seem to go about the business, and it is a little bit concerning. I mean, I've said this before, that the thing is as well, it's not like we just get to January and we kind of sit these players down and say, look, you're either staying or you're leaving. Which one is it? These guys are going to also go away with their country. They're going to represent their countries at international level. We're going to play for Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations. So we really need to have a sit down with these players, because as much as I don't know if you, maybe I've mentioned this once or twice, I feel like I have, but my love affair for Iheanacho only goes so far, because I'm also one of them players that one of them players. No, I'm not. I'm one of them people that I could love a player to death, but if he gets to this point with his contract, like you said, you start reading into every little thing you see, a little post here, a little thing there, a little interview there, a little his attitude on the pitch. And like you said, he does look a little bit like his interests are elsewhere. Um, so I'm hoping it's not. I'd love to hear Maresca do a press conference in like a week's time, and then him say, yeah, we're going to sit down with Iheanacho and Didi's representatives, and like another week after that, we find out they've signed new deals. That'd be great, but time will tell. I don't want to. I don't want two more Yoris Hillerman situations. I know that might sound a bit greedy as a fan to kind of want money for players if they're going to go, but I feel like something that's lost in football these days is loyalty. It's definitely very hard to keep and find. And I just kind of like them to kind of go, you know what, we'll sign a 2-year contract, have like a buyout clause or whatever it is they kind of want in there as a research, and then they can have the decision that if Leicester somehow didn't get promoted, they've got a way out and they can go play Premier League football, which is the sort of clubs that are apparently interested in them. I know Palace is a big interest in Iheanacho. Or we at least get something for them if we get promoted, because obviously then we can replace these players, because no one's irreplaceable. That is one thing to definitely take on. No one is irreplaceable, but it'd just be nice to kind of not lose what 30 odd million, probably you'd say 35 million in collectively for nothing.
That's
I'd rather either get them gone in January or have them committed to the club.
I 100% agree. Like that's I know Chris has mentioned it before. We've been in his stream. Is it like what's the money worth if we do go back up? But I don't think it hinges entirely on those two players whether we go
Yeah.
up or not. And I would rather get 30 million and put towards a rebuild when we do go up, if we do, touch wood. But if we, let's say, we're to go up, that 30 million that's another player, two players, like that could help heaps. But again, we'll cross that bridge later. But I'm of the same opinion, mate. I would rather, if they're not going to commit, we can't keep having people walk out the door for free. We've had too much after the last season, and don't really want to see it again. But I would like to see the team built around him. I think he's earned his shine, but he's been very temperamental. But moving on, I thought McAteer had a much better game. I think he offers something different from Fatawu. Fatawu is amazing, and I think his ceiling is much higher, but he does hug the line a lot more and then tend to cut in across, whereas McAteer makes those, diagonal runs inwards. It's a lot better playing for the middle. It's a lot faster sometimes. I thought he had a good game. I would expect to see him play tonight, and I'll get into starting 11 in a little bit. But also, I thought, I don't know about you, but I had some notes for the game when I was watching it, and I was just like, but he's like nearly done. I had it all written in exclamation marks. He missed 2 sitters, and then he gets the brace and pulls us out again. Classic Vardy. I love him to bits, but do you think he, again, we'll get into the 11 soon, but I think he's probably going to start tonight against his former club.
There's always a I can't think of the word. There's always something around a game like this, isn't there? When you've got a former player or it's an ex club, if you will. But I think it's only natural. I mean, he's just come off the back of a game where he scored 2 goals, and it is his boyhood club, and it may be a little bit bittersweet for him because obviously it's his boyhood club. We know. I think he is a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I'm not sure if that's maybe changed for his allegiance to Leicester. I don't know. I can't imagine it would do. I don't think he's one of them. But it's also one of them, isn't it, where they obviously let him go. they let him go because they thought because he was too small. He wasn't tall enough. He wasn't big enough to be well, what do they know? Obviously, they thought he was too small. He wasn't going to be big enough. He wasn't going to develop into I think at the time a championship sort of club player or standard of any kind. And here he is proving them wrong years down the line. So I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit to kind of play and score past them and maybe give them a little bit of stick for letting him go. I know. We know famously when he scored past Sheffield United, he really gave them stick because obviously they're Wednesday's local rivals. I know he does that to every away set of fans. He's a great shithousery, but yeah, I would be expecting him to start tonight because I just feel like that's the way to go at Sheffield. I mean, the bottom of the league, they're horrendous and they're like a leaky tap once they concede. And if you can get Jamie Vardy doing Jamie Vardy things to them in the first 5-10 minutes, I think your pasting might come true tonight, mate. That you keep predicting for us to have. As much as I love Kels, I know I'm not just saying this because we've kind of questioned his commitment. In terms of to the club, I wouldn't say his commitment on the pitch because I still think he gives 100%. And I'm not just dropping Iheanacho for that, but I think Iheanacho is the type of striker that if we can get a couple of goals in front and late on, we can maybe throw him on. If we can get 2 or 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go, we may even see Tom Cannon get some minutes. I don't know if you've got that on your notes to talk about, but that may be we maybe finally get Tom Cannon in the squad
I
at
definitely
some
will come
point
onto that.
tonight.
Yeah. Well, just before and I 100% agree with you, mate. 100%. Before I get into the starting 11, I can't share two screens. I just want to quickly mention something. I'm looking here, right? It's pretty bad for Sheffield. They've scored 8, conceded 29, right? And I'm looking here, and they didn't score against Swansea. That was 3-0. They didn't score against Sunderland. That was 3-0. They didn't score against West Brom. Then they didn't score against Huddersfield. Then they didn't score against Watford. They didn't score against Plymouth. And then they beat Rotherham. That's a lot of games without scoring. They've got a lot of things going on behind the scenes, on the pitch and off the pitch. So I feel a little sorry for them. The most of their formation they've been playing is 4-2-3-1. I think they're going to do what other people have been trying to do, is just sit deep. I don't think they're going to have the balls to come at us. And I think this, like you said, this could be an absolute pasting. I'll bring this up here. So I don't know what you think, Brad. This is probably what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think this is going to be it. This is like what I would like to see. And I would like to see some heavy rotation because we're playing again soon on the weekend. It is a long season. And if there's any team to rotate and flex a little bit, this is it. But I think Sutar's done well internationally, and I would like to see him play. Cody is crazy. We all thought he was going to be captain. What a good signing he was. He's almost like borderline frozen out, and every time you see him on the bench, he looks a little dejected. So I know football's ruthless, but Vestergaard's taken his opportunity with his ball distribution, and credit to him. He's been brilliant. I can't see JJ not being in the back three because I think otherwise it would be too slow. But we could see Vestergaard phase and maybe Cody. I don't know. But then I've gone Chowdhury to maybe rest Ricardo. I thought Chowdhury did a really good job on the weekend. He wasn't as good as Winks, obviously, but I thought he did a job well. I think we might see Winks drop. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he was. I was actually going to say, yeah, actually, he was my man of the match against Watford. I thought he
I did say
plugged
that. Yeah,
holes and created chances. So yeah, hopefully. I mean,
he did a lot
I'm
off the ball
loving that
too.
team. Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did. He covered gaps very well. He kind of used his championship experience because obviously he was on loan at Watford last season, so he knew them a bit inside out. So that was probably
I forgot about
behind
that, by the way,
Maresca's
until the end.
thinking as well. Yeah, he was. He was on loan at Watford last season, so maybe that was behind Maresca's thinking for him coming in as well, because obviously we were missing Winks due to suspension. I do feel that Winks would have played had he not been suspended, but I think the obvious choice became even more obvious when you think, well, someone who knows that team that hasn't really changed. as well. It hasn't really changed from last season too much, Watford, to my knowledge. So it was a good call by Maresca, and it worked well for me. And I'd be happy to see him coming for Ricardo for this game.
Easily could, mate. He might even get put back in Winks' role, but because Winks has had the international break and as well as suspension, I think Winks is going to go back in. Also, just quickly before I read out the rest of this and talk about it,
Yeah,
another thing to mention was because we did have a lot of availability back in terms of people come back from injury and Didi, Pratt, etc., Atkin. I think we made a lot more subs and we're a lot more prompt where we're a bit worried about the subs being made the last few games. But I think of these players back, the subs were brilliant. I thought Enzo got them all spot on. So the next
yeah.
thing that Indeedy here, I will be surprised if it's Pratt. But I think Indeed is going to get put in because he's going to be away soon for AFCON. Atkin, I would really like to see him take Keenan Dewsbury Hall's role today. I'd like to see him play more. I think he's a great player, even
Mm.
possibly in the left wing, but I haven't really seen him play there. So Mavadidi's pretty much got that role down packed. That's somewhere where I reckon we could see a backup role coming in for January. Casey McAteer on the right, and then I think Varney will start against his former club. And going to what you were saying earlier, I 100% would like to see Tom Cannon coming on in around the 60-70 minute mark. I think that with Kalechi going and Patson Daka going to AFCON, I don't want to throw him to the Wolves. I want to see him get some minutes under his belt. He's been available for a couple of weeks now, or for a week and a bit, 2 games. So I think this is the game to bring him in, mate.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one because, like you said, we're losing 2 strikers to the AFCON, and if certain summer transfer rumours ring true, we might even be losing 2 strikers to transfers on a permanent. So we'd be down to literally Vardy and an unused Tom Cannon. And December is only just round the corner, and it's not just a busy time of year for friends and family and everybody. It's a busy time of year for footballers, isn't it? Because you get a big flux of games. You know, you get like a 2-day break in between games, 48 hours if you're really unfortunate. For some of them, how the fixtures can fall to really cruel and grueling fixture period. And like you said, I don't want to be in the middle of December playing like 4 games in a week, and all of a sudden we've now got to thrust Tom Cameron into the starting lineup because we haven't got Ian Acho, we haven't got Daka, so we have to play him. I think this is look. You have to take every opposition with and treat them with respect because we nearly came unstuck against QPR. Um, you remember that game? That was really tough.
Yes.
And as much as Sheffield United abysmal record shows, Sheffield United some Sheffield Wednesday fans just swore at me for saying that about them. The Sheffield Wednesday side, you just don't know. Their manager's been a little bit now. He might have had time to sort of figure out his squad. He's had to figure out a formation. I know he's been chopping and changing things over the last few weeks. Maybe a little bit in desperation. I don't know, but he's still trying to find his feet. And again, this would be the perfect opportunity if we're playing bottom of the league. If we can find ourselves in that comfort zone, and they do sort of kind of collapse like their record shows they do when they concede a couple of goals. This is the perfect opportunity to give a new player a chance to go at it, and it's kind of lose for Leicester in one sense because if they go out and beat Sheffield 3-4-0, 5-0, 4-1, whatever. It's kind of like, well, okay, the bottom of the league are expected to do it, but this is more of a chance for Leicester to kind of get one edge on the chasing pack, like the Ipswiches and the Leeds and the Southamptons. Because if we can, you never want to make too many changes, but you feel with this group of players that Enzo's got them so gelled together that it won't even make too much of a difference. So this is probably also, like you said, the perfect time for Dennis Pratt to get some minutes under his belt. He's always struggled with niggly injuries, so hopefully we can keep him fit over the Christmas period because I think he's going to be vital. Atgun, obviously playing could be a good shout as well. I think we do need to actually start not being so dependent and reliant on the likes of Dewsbury Hall playing week in, week out. So I'd like to, I don't think he's done anything wrong, but Atkin coming in for him is a very good shout. Or you could shift the midfield over to fit him into midfield three. So yeah, this without kind of being disrespectful to Sheffield Wednesday, I feel like this is a game that you kind of use as like your preview for what's potentially coming up for Leicester over the next couple of weeks when December rolls around next week. So this is a chance for Leicester to get a big win, beat bottom of the league, avoid the banana skin, if you will, and because it is, isn't it? It's kind of like this is a league form of an FA Cup banana skin, isn't it? If you lose to these or draw with these, so get over that. Give some players get some minutes behind into their legs for them, and hopefully Leicester come away with a nice, comfortable 3 points.
That's what I'm going for, mate. I would like hit the nail on the head. I would like to see all these people come in. Obviously, you don't want it to change too much and there be disharmony, but without any disrespect, I think this is for the boys training together, drilling together. I don't think it would be that bad against Sheffield Wednesday, touch wood. But look, got to respect him, as you said. Anything else you want to throw in there, Brad, before we shoot off?
Oh no, let's talk score predictions and stuff like that. Come on, let's get silly about things. It's Sheffield Wednesday. Let's have something that's clearly going to bite us on the arse. Because I think you've covered everything really well, mate.
Thank you, sir. Do I have to commit to my score prediction or can I change it?
The
one in the prediction league.
You're locked in on that. I can't change that, but you can give a different prediction. It's your channel, so you can give a different one for tonight. You can say what's not going to get you points tonight and go for that one.
Okay, mate. I'm going to go for 4-0 tonight.
Oh, what's happened to you, Luke? You used to be the man that went for the crazy and bold predictions. When me and Chris were going for 2-1s and 3-0s, you'd come in and say 4-0, slap them about, 5-0, slap them about. Judy comes in, she's gone, wow, Judy, you've gone one more than me. I've gone 5-0, you've gone 6-0. So, look, I'll take any result as long as it's 3 points, but I'm going 5-0 Leicester. I'm feeling Vardy bagging 3 and Tom Cannon to get 1, and if he comes on Dennis Pratt, I think that'd be nice. Little, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Get 2, 1 returning player, 1 new player, get them both on the score sheet. Get a Vardy bagging a hat trick against his boyhood club. Walk away with 5-0. Happy days.
That would be amazing, mate. Judy, thank you for the comment, but that was the most confident one. So if it all goes to shit, we can blame you. You can be the jinx, not me or Brad. Yeah.
Yeah, Judy. Yeah, we definitely don't hold you don't hold you responsible for it, but it is all your fault, Judy. If we don't win this game now, you've jinxed us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Judy. I'm just kidding. So I think 4-0. I'm going to go for McAteer for a brace today, and I'm going to go for Vardy for the a brace as well, maybe. But I want to see McAteer and would like to see McAteer score.
Yeah, I mean, he was really. Oh, you've gone. My signal's gone. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Luke's still there, but I wouldn't mind seeing McAteer back across the goals because he was on red hot form before his injury. So yeah. I mean, Judy, you've got 6 goals. Where are they coming from? Where have you got them coming from? How many goals? He's gone. He's gone. He's absolutely left the room. I can't end the stream because it's not my stream. So, Judy, you 6-0. Who's scoring them for you then? Who's scoring 6 goals for us tonight? Because he's gone. It's just me. If you're new to the channel, Luke's just having some technical issues, but please do give this lad a huge show of your love and support. Give him a subscribe. drop a like on the video. And here he is, just his beautiful face back on screen as I
Oh, I'm
advertise
so
and wait
sorry.
for him. So
So sorry,
we
guys.
did wonder what happened.
My laptop died.
Judy told me you'd gone, so I just she's got Vardy to score 3. Uh, she's thinking of her other 3 goals because I asked her to who's going to score all 6 tonight. I was expecting Vardy 6 to come up on there. That'd be brilliant, but she's definitely gone with me and got Vardy bagging a hat trick. There you go. She's got Tom Cannon too. So we're up to 5. Who's nodding in the 6th one? Are we going to see a Mads Hermansen long kick bounce over the goalkeeper and in for 6? I'll take it. Where we going? JJ maybe coming in on the left.
Jeez, that's
Oh
confident, mate.
yeah. So
I would love to
we'll
see.
win 11-0. We'll have the whole team.
Maybe
We've got a
just
goal, a player.
You know what? Actually, just quickly before I go, Judy, that's a good point. Dewsbury Hall, like if he does play, like he was really like knocking on the door. That like he hit the post. He looked like he really wanted that goal. You could see like he's feeling he wants to stamp his authority in this league. He said he wants to be one of the best championship players, and you can see and feel that. Sometimes it can come across a little desperate, but like I think I would like to see Dewsbury Hall get a goal. I think it's a good point. Oh, and Tom Cannon for his confidence as well, especially going into AFCON when Kalechi goes and Daka. I really am feeling quite positive about Tom Cannon because other than Cassidy, all of our signings and recruitments have been really good. So I'm really optimistic about Tom Cannon.
Yeah, I'm optimistic as well. I mean, look, 7 million from Everton. It's not a bad fee to pay for a striker, and if we're at least losing one, if not, I don't want to say it, but if we're losing one or both um, of Ian Acho and Daka, we just need to be a little bit patient with him as well because obviously it's not always you can't all no not everybody's a Jamie Vardy, and I think we also have to remember Jamie Vardy. Um, his first season with us, he wasn't great. People were screaming, "Get him out! What a waste of £1 million!" I think he scored like 3 goals in 20 odd games. He was coming off the bench.
With
People weren't
Kane,
happy with him. Vardy,
him
yeah,
and Kane. How
his
crazy is
first
that?
season. Well,
Yeah,
he actually nearly packed in football because he didn't feel he was up to the level of the championship. He was feeling like he was letting himself and Leicester down, and they gave him the opportunity to shine um, at championship. And Nigel Pearson at the end of the season put his arm around and said, "Look, work really hard, go on the off season, keep yourself going, get your head down, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it." And then obviously we all know what happened the next season. Him, Nugent, and a certain Chris Wood tore the championship to pieces, and the rest is, as I say, is history. So I think Leicester fans, if you don't put Tom Cannon on the same pedestal as Vardy, but maybe give him this, maybe look back at Vardy's career and go, well, it didn't start so well for him. It started off slowly. Let's really, if he does come on tonight, really get behind him. Um, Obviously get behind all the lads, but really get behind Tom Cannon, really give him your backing. And I think as football fans, we need to be a bit patient because, a striker could play 5 games, doesn't score a goal, and he's the worst thing ever. He's shocking. Your Nan could score more goals than him in this division, and then, the next season, he's like shit on a shovel. Excuse my French. He's bagging left, right, and centre, and we're and he's the best thing since sliced bread. So we just need to be a bit patient, give him time, and just remember the role he's potentially going to be taking over.
that's exactly right, mate. Big shoot boots to fill, and I don't think anyone ever will. But let's back the lad, and I've got, like you said, yeah, all the confidence in the world in Enzo Maresca to develop this young talent, and let's hope he gets some minutes tonight. Um, Brad, man, thank you so much for coming on, dude. You're an absolute legend, helping me heaps on this channel. I really appreciate it. Do you want to plug your channel, Brad?
Yeah, if you don't, I would appreciate that, mate. Just follow me on LTID TV 1 and 2. The first channel is all Leicester City, all good things. It's watch along. Chris is the big boss man over there. He does watch-alongs. He does Leicester City content. He even does he even soldiers on and does international watch-alongs. So when you're twiddling your thumbs and want to join out, go and check over there. And if you're a big follower of the women's game, the WSL, I am doing content on the Leicester women's over on LTID TV2. So go and please, if you even if you go and check out the videos, I appreciate it. You don't have to subscribe if it's not your thing, but if you do, I appreciate you a ton. And first and foremost, though, don't you dare come in, watch this video. Don't you dare click on this video and not subscribe to this channel, because this guy knows so much about Leicester. He's so passionate and he puts in so much effort. So if you, I see you about to click off the video about hitting subscribe. Don't you dare click it. Good, you've done it. Good, and hit like on your way out, as I always say on my channel. So hit like button on your way out, and we won't have any trouble later on down the line. Don't make me fly out to Australia and come and find you. I will.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And yeah, thank you, Judy, for getting your comments in. I appreciate that. It is 10:50 here in Australia right now, and I've got my alarm set for 3:30 to watch the game. So I better get some
Absolute
sleep, mate.
commitment, lad. Yeah, you go and get some rest, mate, and I will speak to you. Well, probably Saturday, because I can't imagine you'll be coming on the post match on Chris's, will you?
I'll be there for the post match, mate. I can't. It's too early to go for the halftime and the pre-match, but post match it'll be around time for work anyway. So I'll quickly pop in for 10:15, then I'll shoot off to work. So I'll see you there, mate.
Absolute legend. See you there, mate.
See you then. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. This is Luke from Leicester City Down Under. I'm out.